Rights at work have become a big talker during the pandemic, from PTO days to vaccine requirements. We know that you have all kinds of questions. We have an expert here to help you answer them. Labor and employment attorney Nicole Patino is with us until 5:45, and she's taking your questions directly. So here's how you get those questions to her. You text us that question, 336-379-5775. All right, so first and foremost, let's start with this, because this has been something that we've been seeing. TikTok, right? Lots of TikTok posts, and this person is wondering, TikTok says I can tell the workplace secrets after I no longer work at a place. Is that really true?
Probably not. Most employees sign a confidentiality agreement, or there's a confidentiality clause in the employee handbook, and you may not be able to reveal those secrets even after you leave.
Okay, and so that might be something that it's proprietary to whatever that business is. Even you might have signed something, you don't even know that you signed it?
It could be. Everybody signs lots of paperwork when they start work, and we forget what that is. But I always cringe when I see those videos because I'm so afraid somebody's going to reveal something that will get them sued by their employer, or at least get a mean letter from another attorney.
Right, and you don't want that. All right, here's the next question that we're going to answer. Let's put it up, all right? This person says, my employer accidentally paid me twice, so can I keep the money?
No. In North Carolina, you are required to return any overpayment. It's treated as a prepayment of your wages, so you have to return that money.
Okay, and there was also another question that we had talked about at one time about people saying, can I get a loan on my paycheck, or do I have to pay back a loan on my paycheck? I didn't even know that that was possible.
Sure, some employers make loans to their employees, but they are required to repay those. And know that if you accept a loan, or if you're prepaid, get an advance on your wages, or even if you're mistakenly overpaid and you try not to pay back your employer, they are allowed to take you to court to return that money or to get that money back.
Okay. All right. This is the next question that we're going to put up so that you can read it and then think about how you would answer it before our lawyer answers it. Can my boss fire me for taking too many sick days?
Okay, it depends. If you're taking those sick days because you have the cold frequently, or, well, you're using sick days without necessarily needing those, yes. If it is related to a disability that you have and you've informed the employer that you have some sort of disability, they may not be able to terminate your employment for taking too many days.
Well, what about if you have a positive COVID test?
It depends. So if you're out too long, and they should follow the CDC guidelines, because the North Carolina Department of Labor is going to enforce the general duty clause, which requires a safe and healthy workplace for employees. But if you are exposed to COVID, let's just say 3 times, 4 times, and it becomes a disruption to the workplace, absolutely you can be terminated for taking too many sick days.
Okay. All right. Well, now that the OSHA emergency temporary standards have been struck down by the Supreme Court, this is a question that we're getting as well. Can my employer require me to get vaccinated?
Yes. So this is still happening. The employer is allowed to require vaccines, just like the flu shot. Though there are 2 exceptions. You can request an exemption from the vaccine if you have a sincerely held religious belief under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, or if you have a disability under the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Okay. All right. And then how about this one? Can your employer require you to quarantine longer than the CDC recommends? Let's put that up so that folks can see that. And then, and can they make me use PTO? So there's 2 questions there. Can my boss require me to stay home? And then can they make me use PTO?
Yes, your employer might be able to make you quarantine longer than the CDC guidelines. Again, the general duty clause requires that safe and healthy workplace. And they can require you to use PTO.
Okay, so both of those on there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to take a quick break. We want to make sure that you know that you can text your question in 336-379-5775, and we'll be right back.